Namaste, Jai Hind and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsimhan. Ladies and gentlemen, we turn the spotlight towards the state of Manipur, our top focus, and we'll do a deep dive. We'll show you pictures, we'll show you images that have not been shown till now on national television. Images, footages, reality that nobody is actually talking about. And there is a reason why we are putting the spotlight on Manipur. Because for over a year, the situation in the state has been practically out of control with ethnic clashes. Agencies not being able to understand the weaponization situation or the level of weaponization and what is actually happening. The criticality at which the issues need to be dealt with. Both the state and the centre have tried to step up the efforts to bring forth normalcy, but the solution seems far, far away at the moment. And it's a cause not just of internal security, ladies and gentlemen, it's a cause of our national security because our very borders, the contours of our cartographic existence since 1947 is under challenge. Today on The Right Stand, we bring you the untold horror stories from the state of Manipur as claimed by the Meitei community. We show you exclusive satellite images. Satellite images of November 2022, before the violence in Manipur, a time when things were normal. Let's try and understand this. Now you are seeing, let's just look at this entire region. You see hutments, tenements, you see people living. There are people all over here. You see, this is all, this entire region right now, this is all satellite images. That means there is population, there are people. This is November 2022. Okay, these houses stood as symbols of continuity and community and harmony. Now, this is another image from May 2023 during the aftermath of the destruction. Now, you see what has happened? All these areas, there are no houses. It's all flattened. It's all flattened. You saw hutments, tenements, and it's all flattened. This whole thing is now flattened. So before and after, they've been reduced to gravel and rubble. And now, look at March 2024. So from November 2022 to May 2023 and now March 2024. Nothing. It's just been bulldozed, flattened and all these plots taken away. It's the same number of the plots. But if you look at the imagery, over the last 2 years, all this was Meitei property or Meitei existence. That's what the Meiteis are claiming. And all of this is gone. It's all been flattened. So let's go back again. Now you see this, March 2024. Can we call the first image up? November 2022. Now if you can see November 2022, look at November 2022. Look at this entire region. You see it's all populated with hutments, tenements, people, and this is all a community. Vibrant community living here in this region. And these plots are all marked. It's the same level of plots which are marked. See? It's all marked here. Okay, the numberings also you can note. This is what the Meitei community claims. Now, from November 2022, let's go to May 2023. Now, these are the pictures of May 2023. Now, have a look at this. May 2023, they're all flattened. All reduced to rubble. Entire settlements gone. In this entire plot, entire settlements all gone. All gone. And now, the confirmation that all these houses not just bulldozed and flattened, but also look at this, May 2024. Again, this is all done. They're now reduced to plots as if there was nothing there ever before. In 2 years, this is the region. This is what's happened. Meanwhile, some cookie houses remain standing in this region. This is what the Meiteis claim, that some of the cookie houses remain standing, emphasizing this unequal impact. This is as claimed by the Meiteis, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go across to Dr. Malam Ningthauja, who's an author, who's joining us at this point. Dr. Ankita Datta, researcher and columnist, and Arun Anand also joining us this evening. My namaste and Jai Hind to everybody. Dr. Malam, can you take us through these images which the Meitei community claims is the result of what's happening there? And for a long time, the argument has been that the Meitei community has borne the brunt of these ethnic clashes. Where are these plots? Is it in Imphal? And can you take us through more details?
No, this images as you was trying to show is taken from Churachandpur district.
Churachandpur, ji.
Yes, Churachandpur district. Churachandpur district, as this place knows, there are valleys. You see, there is a misrepresentation, always trying to show hill and divide, but the truth is that Churachandpur district, though considered to be a hill district, has large amounts of valleys. Even the British carried out cadastral survey for land revenue collections and land tax and etc. There are large plots of valley, and this is indeed valley in the hills. And Churachandpur was originally belonged to one of the clans of the Meiteis, the Moirangs. They were settled there. And it's the late migrants, I should be saying, from 1840s, the Cookies and the Meiteis and other zombies started migrating to Manipur as subjects of Manipur, right? As subjects of Manipur. And there are reasons why they have migrated here. But then this migration has been continued. It's something like we have a parallel example of situations in Palestine, like the Zionist movement, who first came down as a settler colonialist or as refugees. These trends keep on, and as the number keeps on increasing, and as certain sectarian forces begin to think of creating a separate, exclusive ethnic or a confederated regions to create either a Christian state or whatever it is, then when they get this number, then these things happen. And this is not new in the history of Manipur. In 1917 to 1919, they carried out this kind of massive onslaughts or ethnic cleansings on Meiteis and the Kabui Nagas. And between 1992 to 1998, they did it in More towns, border towns, strategic towns, and that's how the Kuki Naga class begins. And they even tried to wipe out the Meiteis in 1997 to 1988. So it's quite a it's a phenomenon, and it has been a trend, and this ethnic cleansing trend has been following a historical track as far as I will not blame the entire Kuki people, but the sectarian and the terror outfits who are behind all these things, they are responsible for this. And this happens in Churachandpur, which was originally a place that belongs to the Moirang people. Of course, Moirang is part of Meitei now, and it happens to be an invincible part of the Manipur territory. This is where these migrants and the refugees.
How many people are you claiming have been affected because of this over the last 2 years?
There are about 5 villages mentioned in Churachandpur alone, and the number is estimated to be around 13,000 population.
13,000 population. But but there is a counter to this, Dr. Malam, before I bring in Ankita Datta and Arunanand. The counter is that even the Cookies are facing this. Even the Cookies have faced violence. Even the Cookies have been treated similar to what the Meitei community claims their people have been treated.
There is mobs, there is retaliations, and there is mass exodus, mass evictions, and there are some pockets where securities are providing, security. And the difference is that when there is mass exodus, or say when there is an attack on the Cookies, the properties still remain intact. There is nothing such as complete erasure of the material memory. So even if they want to come back, they will have their properties there out there.
So what you're saying, Dr. Malam, is that yes, there may be retaliation, and the Meitei may also be attacking the Cookies, but this flattening out of Meitei property, the way it's been done over 2 years, and these satellite images show it. We'll try and show all the 3 images. So that's November 2022, and you can see clearly settlements which are there. And this is when they flattened in May 2023 and then totally razed. And not just that, bulldozer runs over all of this, and it just looks like plots. There's no proof of existence of any Meitei settlement. That's over the last, let's say, 1.5 to 2 years. Dr. Malam, you're saying that this is not reflective with the Cookie side. Yes, there may be retaliation, there may be violence, but their properties are not flattened and bulldozed like this. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, this kind of phenomenon has never occurred, as far as I know, in any part of the country, except 1 or 2 instances of demolitions of churches or mosques in other parts of the country. It's quite phenomenon. It's like, trying to completely erase the existence, the memory, and even the plots. It's quite phenomenon. I mean,
what triggered this, if I may ask you, and then I'll bring in Ankita Datta and Arunanand. What triggered this? In November 2022, what triggered this? After about 4 or 5 years of peace, suspension of arms, etc.
Why November 22? No, what do you mean by November 22?
No, what happened, what triggered this rekindling of the fight and the conflict is what I'm asking you, Dr. Malam.
Oh, it's been a long process. It's a complex process, and what's the immediate action is to to protest what you call the war against drugs, and to protest against the detections of immigrations and to regulate unregulated influx of populations, to check the forest lands, that is the protected forest and the reserve forest areas, to protect it, to evict encroachers, and to stop poppy cultivations. These sectarian forces who are behind all these things, and they also have this agenda of creating a separate homeland. They communalize the issue. They communalize the national security concerns in such a way that whatever the Manipur government did has been completely communalized and misguided the innocent people. And they relate on these forces to, these innocent masses, to bring them into this level of destructions, whereby dragging Meiteis and others into this conflict, and to show it as some kind of Christians being attacked by Hindus, or majority attacking Meitei, majority attacking minorities, non-tribals attacking tribals. All kinds of misrepresentations and propaganda warfare has been carried out. But the exact the exact agenda is for personal profit, and which has been canalized, and also to exert for some kind of power whereby the state is completely destabilized, and causes the state to completely paralyze and pursue their hidden agenda, which is militant in character, and which also has a very sectarian and communal approach. It's very complex. I mean, in this short moment,
Right.
I can't tell you everything, but
We'll
the
talk at
agenda-
length. Let me just bring in Ankita Datta, who's been studying this region quite in a detailed manner. She's also looked at the entire demographic change and the influence in this region in the northeast, and she's done her thesis on that too. Ankita Datta ji, you concur with what Dr. Malam is saying. Arunji, coming to you after this. Yes. Yes, Ankita ji.
Yes. This is from Namaste. This is from Churachandpur. So all these were earlier Meitei settlements: Kumbi Pukri, Mata Lairembi, Kumujamba, Meitei Lekai, Mandop Lekai, and Pugatampak. And these are the localities which are situated in the neighborhood of the Churachandpur district headquarters. They were set ablaze, they were bulldozed and looted systematically. They were systematically destroyed by Kuki mobs with the use of heavy machineries during the violence of 2023. And these localities at present, as you show, as we have already seen in the pictures, they now wear the look of a completely war devastated zone. Hundreds of Meitei Hindu families were forced out of their ancestral homes. Forest offices were burnt, temples were desecrated, and intermittent firing had taken place on the peripheral Meitei villages, and this firing continued unabated for several months since the violence began. And arms and ammunitions were also looted from a gun shop at Churachandpur by Kuki militants on the evening of 3rd May 2023. And these same looted arms and ammunitions were used against the Meitei residents of the district, that is Churachandpur. And if we recall, see the local Kuki Zo people, they have always attempted to hijack and claim the sacred sites of Manipur. And
Right.
see, these sites are sacred historically, not just for the indigenous Meiteis and the Vishnupriyas, but also the Nagas. I remember this one incident when the Kuki militants, they had molested 2 young women who were going for their puja at the sacred Thangjing Hills in 2010. And pilgrims visiting the sacred Thangjing Hills and Mount Kobru, they have been repeatedly harassed. Kuki militants have prevented non-Kukis from even celebrating their festivals such as Holi and Deepavali in areas where they have become a majority. As Malem Ninthoja sir has rightly said, the border town of More, which was earlier a kind of microcosm of India, and it was home to a sizable population of Nagas, Bengali Hindus, Tamil Hindus, Meiteis, Malayalis, Nepalis. The way in which this vibrant multicultural border town has been eventually today transformed into a stronghold of Kuki militants and Burmese illegal immigrants. This process began way back in 1992 after the Naga-Kuki clashes, and it was after these clashes that the Kukis adopted a very well-planned policy of isolating and driving out each community, every single non-community Kuki from Moray, one at a time. So this relentless attempt of the Kukis to drive out non-Kukis is the first step towards creating an independent Kuki nation, including parts of Bharat, Myanmar, and Bangladesh. This person, president of the Kuki National Organization, P.S. Haukip, he has formally documented the nature of this independent Kuki nation in his book Dalingam, which means a separate Kuki homeland. And he clearly mentions this nation as a Lebanzaram for the Kuki Chin Mizo language speakers, where they can freely worship Jesus Christ. And many of the Kuki Chin Mizo language speaking community leaders, their politicians like Mark Haukip, Mafili Lando from Mizoram, they have clearly indicated time and again that this nation for Christ shall neither coexist, and it will not coexist, and it will also not respect the religious freedom and human rights of non-Christians.
Right. So you're saying that the situation is far more complex and it's been building over the last many decades, not just a few years.
Yes,
but
since the late 1980s and the early 1990s.
It's been developing. Arun Anandji, before we move on to yet another input on Manipur, we'll stay on this story through this course, larger course of this edition of The Right Stand. Yes, Arun Anand.
See, there are, I was listening to my fellow speakers. I think there are much deeper fault lines because of which this conflict is happening. If you look at the demographic profile of Manipur, how it has changed. So in 1969, there were 587 Meitei villages. And in 2021, their number came down to 544. Whereas the number of Kuki villages, which were 216 in 1969, the number went up to 544. And there are a lot of illegal immigrants, which were coming. And another aspect which was mentioned. So another aspect of this problem is the war against, drugs, or war against the poppy and the cannabis cultivation. So I'll give you a data which will explain that why this conflict zone, Churachandpur, has become a conflict zone. So you see, in between 2013 to 2016, overall around 2,000 acres poppy cultivation and cannabis cultivation. So it was removed by the government authorities from about 2,000 acres. Now, if you look at the data of 2017 to 2023, after which the conflict started, the government went, they removed the poppy and cannabis cultivation from 18,688 hectares, almost like basically, you can say 19,000 hectares. And 2,700 acres was in Churachandpur, from which it was removed. Right. So, and the third thing is because it's a border state, and church has been very active, amongst the Kukis. And if you look at the geographical profile also, I think my fellow speakers, they do much more research. So if you look at that also, Meiteis are surrounded around Imphal, and then the Kukis and Nagas, basically, it's like a bowl kind of a thing. So they are on the periphery. So they are surrounding them. And because Meiteis have not got the ST status, so they can't do, much beyond, they can't buy property, they can't do a lot of things in, if they go beyond Imphal. And then the demography is also changing. So obviously, these are the deeper fault lines, and I think unless these are addressed, so we'll be just, managing the, symptoms. So that's why this conflict has, now kind of gone for so long.
Yeah, but it does not stop there with an internal strife or conflict, like Dr. Malam has said, Ankita Datta has said. This is now becoming a huge national security issue because of the borders with Myanmar, what perhaps is happening or brewing in Mizoram, the regime change in Bangladesh, the Chinese and Western hegemonies trying to exert their influence, and it's a huge question on the sovereignty of Bharat. Now, more on this story as we continue the conversation. Another aspect which is important, that it's not a conflict in Manipur just